News with Sam Summers.
Kia ora, good evening and welcome to 0800 Tardis News Lords of Time special. Now, coming up in tonight's show, we'll be giving you some special clips of our footage from Lords of Time and also be speaking to Alex Reid from the Doctor Who fan page, Doctor Who is Bloody Brilliant, which is a very, another, should I say, New Zealand based fan page. So, Alex, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sam.
So, what did you think of Lords of Time?
I thought it was a fantastic convention, and as said, it was great to see the four people who've played Doctors in one room together.
Yeah, that's what I thought was very good about it. I mean, I also thought it was good that Nick Briggs came all the way from the UK, the voice of the Daleks. What did you think about that?
Yes, he was pretty scary when he was speaking to people in the audience, telling them to stay when they were leaving. And I thought it was good that he came all the way, because often those people are overlooked for their contribution, and he has contributed a lot. He's not only the Daleks, I think Cybermen and the Ice Warriors, and he did the Rhinoceros people, whatever they were called.
Oh yes, I remember him talking about that. Yeah.
He's been a lot of voices, so it's good to see him.
Yes. So, what's it called? Who was your favourite Doctor there?
My favourite Doctor there was number 5, which is Peter Davison, but based on the panels that they did, I thoroughly enjoyed Sylvester McCoy. I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah, well, he was a bit different, going around the audience and actually suddenly, going across and saying, talking with the audience, grabbing the microphone and shoving it in the person's face. It was something a bit different considering all the other Doctors didn't do that.
More laid back. Yeah.
And what was your favourite bit about Sylvester McCoy?
My favourite part of Sylvester McCoy was him playing himself off with the spoons.
Himself off with the spoons. Yeah, so we're going to sit there and play some of the footage of him playing with the spoons.
You've got to follow the spoons. You've got to get off the stage. And here we go. Have you ever been from man? When we get back to the boy, you can bring no hair she got. Because if I were not speak a lot, who plays the organ in the
So what do you think of that? Well, I thought it was something a bit different, playing with the spoons. So, what's a bit of a background about Sylvester playing with the spoons? You know a bit more than me.
Yes, before he became an actor, he was a street performer. He used to perform on the corner of the street. He used to actually not only play with the spoons to get money, but he used to shove nails up his nose, amongst other many strange and wonderful things. So you can see why his Doctor in the first season was known as the Clown Doctor. He clowned around quite a lot.
Yeah, well, that's something I all those things I wouldn't dream of doing. So particularly with the nails.
Yeah, pretty painful.
Yeah, pretty painful. Also, another Doctor that like that was there was Paul McGann. Now we've got a picture here from when he was answering one of Alex's questions. So we'll sit there and see what it says there.
Actually, it's like misnomer. It wasn't a movie. I hate to be picky about it. It was not a movie. But it was shot on 35 mil, which is what they shoot movies on. So I guess at a stretch you can call it a movie. I prefer to call it a pilot, and it was a pilot that never made it. As you've asked for honesty, I'll give it to you. I think it did okay. I think, but the remit of any pilot, and this one was no different, is to try. They're trying to fulfil they're trying to guess at the audience that they're convinced might go for it. And in this case, they were slightly hamstrung, I think, because the Universal Fox, the BBC, who were in charge of this so-called TV movie, had to appeal to what they were convinced was, a few 100,000 strong audience in the US. With the tone of the programme, at the same time that they realised that they might be talking to people who are completely uninitiated. So they had to introduce characters, iconic things that we're used to, and they had to sort of tell the story anew for those people, while at the same time not talking down to or patronising or putting the nose out of joint of many people back home who knew this stuff like the back of their hand. So it was a trick that they had to try and pull off. And my honest opinion is that it almost succeeded. But as I saw it, it ran the risk of doing neither. You know, neither appealing to the new audience, or indeed really pleasing the audience back home. I don't think it quite did either. You know, if the critical, I think the critical reception was warm, but I've heard a lot of voices since saying, yeah, but you know, the people that knew it. So it didn't quite come up. That's my honest opinion of it. But of itself and for itself, it was okay. It did what it tried to do. You know, I know when, like, just take a few elements, the costume I was to wear, the things I was to say, had to be quite strictly adhered to. But, you know, these things had to be introduced, you know. And there were some contentious things as well, things like, he's half human. Like, that put the noses out of joint of so many people back home. People that could have got a PhD in this mythology. But to the new ones, it didn't matter, you know. So you can see that difficulty. That was really, that was the difficulty we had, anyway. And I kissed the girl. Perfectly chastely, perfectly innocently. Not realising that it would cause a diplomatic incident back in the UK. There was nearly another siege of Boston Harbor.
So we have seen a little bit of Paul McGann saying with the movie. So what do you think about the movie, Alex?
My feelings on the movie is that overridingly it was not very good. I think Paul McGann's characterisation of the Doctor was fine. I believe the story that they had and the elements they tried to introduce, as he said in that clip, failed. It tried to appeal to both American fans and old fans, and it really failed to do either. It just flopped a bit for me. Yeah,
I could probably say that in the same opinion. It was not probably the best of what they have shot. No. But that's probably what happens when you leave the Americans to shoot a British show.
You never give an American a British show.
No,
we ruin it every time.
Oh yes, I know. Same with Thomas Tank Engine and other shows like that. Yeah. So, what we've got here, we've got a little bit about Peter Davison on one of his funny jokes. Now, you can tell us a bit about that, Alex.
Which one was his funny joke?
Yeah, or should we play it and then
I think
you
we
tell
can play it and then we can commentate on the joke, yes.
Okay.
They're killed by these different things. But rather than run away, they can't run away, because otherwise you could walk away and escape these monsters. So they have to kind of go, and die. And you think, well, why didn't you just walk down the corridor? Yes?
Who do you think should be the 12th Doctor?
Who do I think should be the 12th Doctor? It's a difficult one, that. I know.
Good question.
There's a great fondness now for young doctors. I don't know how much younger they can go without going a little bit older. Before, I think that the current couple of doctors, might even have been called David Tennant, but I shouldn't say that. I was asked this question, and I said David Warner, because I thought he has a fantastic presence. Of course, everyone would say he's too old now, and maybe he would consider himself too old, but he's a fantastic actor, and he has that wonderful kind of slightly dangerous quality, I think, which is really good. Apart from that, I really don't know. I don't have any other thoughts, sadly.
Yes.
Except maybe my children.
I don't think I can.
Actually, there's rather a large queue.
So, about his joke about with the monsters.
Yeah, it's sadly accurate, I think, really.
Yeah, I mean, you know, wouldn't it be much more fun if they tried to run away and get away? But yeah, actually, I have to admit, there wasn't much of that happening.
I remember there was one particular clip in a Peter Davison story, which ironically was actually used as Michael Braid's reasoning for cancelling the show. I think the sea devils, the sea monsters, came back, and they had two guys in driving the monster, and the lady decided to try to do karate against the monster, and it's usually pointed out as quite a comic clip, and I think that's probably what he was referring to there.
Okay. Yeah, and what about the 12th Doctor? As you might have seen in our last episode, who said they won't be playing it?
Exactly.
You know, it's more of a question of who will.
That's the question. There was a little bit of controversy there. He suggested one of his children. So interesting to see if it runs in the family or not. We'll wait and see what happens.
Well, I mean, you know, if you sit there and look at it, I mean, he's number 5. His son-in-law's number 10, David Tennant.
15, number 15, you could be seeing another Davison, I think.
Possibly, yeah, or possibly, yeah, grandchildren Davison, yeah.
Grandchild Davison, yeah.
Yeah, wonder which, will they go off the stage name Davison, or will they stick with the
Moffat,
Moffat or Tennant?
Yeah.
Whichever way it falls out.
The fans will be happy.
Fans will be happy. Okay, well, coming up after the break, we'll be talking about how Colin Baker called his agent as a prank to say he would be James Bond in the James Bond movie. All that coming up. Well, welcome back. Now, instead of going to be discussing what Colin Baker did in the prank, we're just going to go straight to showing you it. So this is what happened when he rang up his agent pretending to be some big producer, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think that's the name he used. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but yes. Let's just sit there and look and listen and see how he says it.
Tell you the story of my agent, because I guess you have April Fool's Day here as well, yeah? Right. April Fool's Day, 1980 something, 70 something, I don't know. I decided to ring up my agent and say the following. Oh, hello there, do you represent Colin Baker? Yes, Colin Baker, yes. Okay, I'm working with Cubby Broccoli here, and we're really interested in Colin. Colin. We're interested in Colin for the new James Bond movie. And my agent said, what part? I said, James Bond? Oh, right. He said, what, Colin Baker? Yeah, that's right. Page 394 in Spotlight, which is the Actors Casting Directory. I said, yeah, that's the guy. What, as James Bond? Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. He said, could Colin come and meet Cubby this afternoon in the Dorchester Hotel here in London? And yes. Fine. So I hung up, waited. Phone rang. Hello. Hello, Colin. I got you an interview. Didn't get it at all. I said, oh yeah, what for? He said, well, the new James Bond movie. I said, oh, is it, what part is that? I don't know, a small part. For James Bond. I said, oh, when's the interview? He said, 4 o'clock this afternoon. I said, no, I promised my wife I'd go shopping with him. And then I said, who was it that, who did you speak to? He said, I said, was it that Harv Schwarzenegger who works out at Cubby Broccoli's office? He said, how did you know that? I said, because it was me. He was living. He clearly remembered what he'd been saying. He said, Colin Baker! James Bond! I'm still with that agent, amazing. Next question.
So, what did you think about that, Alex?
I think it was very, very funny. Even on repeat viewing, we were both giggling away here. Probably the best April Fool's joke you could play as an actor, I would say.
Yeah, there's something a bit different. I can't picture, you know, I mean, he's still with that agent. God, now, even the agent is getting grey, or the agent was very young.
At that point, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll sit there and get a couple of pictures and might show them up at the end of what the agent could look like if we can find some on the net. Be a bit interesting.
Interesting to see, and it's surprising he stayed with Colin after having that joke played on him, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. The other one is favourite companions. Now, Colin was got the rare choice, the same as Sylvester, of only ever having 2 companions. So, which one was your favourite of Colin's?
I hated both of them. I loathed Perry and I loathed Bonnie equally. As I did most of Colin's era, I think he's unfairly attacked, really. He suffered from bad script writing, like Sylvester in the first season. But I don't have a favourite really because I dislike both of those companions. Bonnie is squeaky, and Perry's accent, if you listen to it, wanders across the American continent because they said, well, we need an American person so you can act American, but you're not allowed to use American slang. So she has an accent that wanders from Northern to Southern American, and she uses British slang, and I find it all very irritating.
Yes, I do remember that. They said it might confuse the British people, you know, using, what do you call it, American, you know, how they call it, like, I don't think they call it the lift, they call it the elevator. Yes, a little terminology like that, yes. Well, here's what Colin Baker had to say about his favourite companion.
Who was your favourite companion?
My favourite companion? Well, I really only had two, and that was Nicola Bryant as Perry and Bonnie Langford. Explain yourself, sir. And I was only with Bonnie for one story, a bit of the trial, so I have to say, not that favourites are always, I'm a little bit anti the whole my favourite Doctor thing, or my favourite ever story. Because I think, you know, as the Brigadier said, great chaps, all of them. I hope so, anyway. But if you forced me, put me in a corner and stuck pins under my fingernails, who's your favourite Doctor? Because I still see an awful lot of them, she's good friends, it would be my friend Nicola Bryant. And I guess the guy is quite like Nicola. The extraordinary thing is, I think she's got a picture up in the attic somewhere that's like, you know, the picture of Dorian Gray, because she looks better now than she did when we did the programme. And I started on Doctor Who 13 years ago this year. So even though I realised Nicola wasn't 2 when she did it, she looks 32, which is a neat trick if you can do it. Wish I could say the same. Anybody else?
So, she looks 32 now.
Surprising, really, isn't it? Well, I think Colin must have taken up the slack for her, you could say.
What, the aging time? Yes, well, that is definitely true. Actually, I mean, did you see her in the Nurofen ad?
No, I didn't. Was she in the Nurofen ad?
She was in a Nurofen ad recently. I don't know if it's played here in New Zealand yet, but it was definitely in the UK. She was in a Nurofen ad.
Great among things after Doctor Who, then.
I know Nurofen ads. What will be next, you know? Yeah. Don't worry, we'll try and have a clip by the end of the show regarding the Nurofen ad. Kinda could be a bit of a laugh. Now, one guest who was there, well, he was a bit different. The voice of the Daleks, Nick Briggs, came to all over New Zealand, which I'm proud, and he loves the country. He's been here a couple of times, and he said one place he likes visiting is Weta Workshops in Wellington, which is also the home of Peter Jackson, or as he's known as Sir Peter Jackson, but I heard he just likes Peter. So, I mean, that was one part. So we're going to see what was one highlight of his part of the show that we thought was good.
Yes. Oh, right, okay. That is the nastiest Ubi I've ever seen. Like a sort of... You're in trouble when you're getting tangled up there a bit. Oh, this getting tangled. Okay. So... I'll just grab the points and laugh at people. Yeah, I hope that's comfortable. Yeah, it's alright. Not sweating at all? Oh, really? Okay, I am.
So, will you have a part to play in the 50th anniversary special?
Oh, I don't know. But you know, that's my answer to many questions about the new series of Doctor Who. You can sit down. This guy just go on and on. Yes, I honestly don't know. I mean, I don't get told about whether I'm going to be in something on television for Doctor Who until the very last moment. You know, the last Dalek one, the Cyber of the Daleks. I went to the read-through and they said, well, see you next week for the shoot, and then nothing happened. And then I found out they were trying to shoot it without me being on the set, and they were just trying anything they could do, you know, because I don't know whether they didn't understand or they'd forgotten or whatever. They were having third assistants read out the lines, and then they realised
the Daleks' lights didn't flash when they spoke. And they said, oh, how does that work then? You know, and someone finally said, well, you need Nick Briggs to be speaking into a microphone and a ring modulator to make the Dalek lights flash. That's what, when I arrived on set, the director, Nick Curran, said to me, Nick, I didn't realise it's you who makes the lights flash. And I have said since that that'll be on my tombstone. You know, here lies Nicholas Briggs, he made the lights flash. So I don't know. I mean, I hope that the Daleks are in it, but you know, they're filming it now. And I do have a voicemail on my phone, and unfortunately, when I'm out of the country, I can't access it. Because it asks for some code I don't have. So, I mean, I guess my agent could be saying, where are you? He knows I'm in this country. He knows. So I don't know. It'd be good though, wouldn't it? Yeah. Oh, it's 50th anniversary. Anyway.
So that's Nick Briggs. So, you know, talking about how he has to be on set with the ring modulator to make the lights of the Dalek flash. Now that's, I have to say, is a bit cunning and creative.
Good way to keep a job, really, isn't it? You need to be on set to make the lights go.
I know, and you can't pre-record. You know, at least that will show there's no laziness happening there.
Yeah, at least we know that now. That's good.
Yeah.
It's an interesting insight into the world of filming, really.
I wonder if his agent sat there and rang him up all the way from the UK to say, we need you back here soon, when do you get on the next flight?
If only we knew.
Yeah, only if we knew. So, any other highlights of the show? Did you buy any merchandise or any, what do you call it?
Oh, yes, I did actually. I originally came and I was going to get one autograph, and I decided on Peter Davison. And then I thought, no, I'll get 2 autographs. And that was all well and good. And then, as you were there, you'd know, because you were lucky, when you went to get your autographs, you had hundreds of people milling around like sharks.
Oh, it was everyone converging on the one place at once.
I waited for about an hour, and I finally got my autographs, and that was cool. But that was like being a sardine when I tried to get them. But I was happy with it. I think it was worth the wait and the money.
Yes, yeah. Well, I mean, myself, I kind of got was a picture, which we'll flash that up across the screens or put it at the end. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to do it, but I got a picture of all 5 guests. Yes, my wallet did kind of get a bit of a hammering with it. Yeah, it was $150, but hey, if I was going to do it there, I better have got it with all 5 guests. And that was the important part, was getting it with all 5 guests, because, you know, they made the effort coming there. I mean, a lot of people were getting pictures with, what do you call it, the 4 doctors, but didn't really care about Nick Briggs. Now, I thought, well, hey, he's part of the show, so why not?
Exactly, it's had massive input, and even like, if anyone is a fan of Big Finish, Nick Briggs has probably had a massive impact in Big Finish, because he produces a lot of the plays and directs them, as well as starring in them too, so I don't think his contribution can be underestimated.
No, like, I think he was one of the ones who started Big Finish.
Yes, he helped them when it started, and you know, if we didn't have Big Finish, I don't think we'd have Doctor Who now, because as the actors even said, it bridged the gap in the wilderness years when we didn't have television. It kept people hooked in to Doctor Who.
Yes. Well, is there anything else we can cover from the show?
That's a good question. What do you think?
I feel we've covered all of the highlights.
Many highlights, yes. Many
highlights, yes. Now, as you probably, if you haven't seen it already, you can go to our Facebook page with a link to my YouTube page, which will give you the unedited footage of all my recording. Alex, will you be doing the same thing at some stage?
Yes, we will be uploading our recordings of the...
and that will be on Doctor Who Bloody Brilliant.
And Doctor Who is Bloody Brilliant.
Okay, at least that's good. Now, as I said in our last episode, we're looking for a new admin for 0800 Tardis. It's going to be our 4th admin. Now, as we stated here, you must live in New Zealand. You must be happy for an interview on our new show, because we're planning to actually do it where everyone gets interviewed on the show, and then you can sit there and, the guests can rate who they like the best on what is the interview. And we're going to run a poll where, your decision could influence the outcome. Also, the other one is you must have realistic internet access. No point living in the what-whats and only get dial-up, because I don't see you being that active on the page if you're out there. Also, the other thing is, you must be a fan obviously, because, you know, otherwise, you know, you won't be searching for the fan news. You must be able to have Skype, because we do monthly conference calls. And, you know, some of the perks of the job will be your name will feature in the 0800 Tardis News opening credits. Currently it is the free admins at the moment. You'll get some insider information of what's happening. You could have the decision who could be the 5th admin, as when you're part of 0800 Tardis, you equally have a decision in what you're doing. And also you can do the day-to-day decisions when it comes to promo shares, which I mean, we have a big thing about helping out other pages, and they've helped out us where we share each other's page and let them know what's happening. You know, so if you want to be interested, you can email us at 0800tardis@gmail.com, and entries close on the 25th of April at 6 PM New Zealand Standard Time. Now, if you want to ask a bit of questions to me, you can ring me off from a landline on my 0800 number. That's 0800 TARDIS, 0800 827 347, or you can ring me or text me on my cell phone, which is 022 042 8379. Now, if you want to do that, we'll look forward to it. Now, we're looking for our next episode. It's planned to be filmed at the Levin Cosy Club on the 27th of April, back in the boardroom where I did my last lot of filming. We'll have Brian, our second admin, who will be coming in and joining us for this film. And hopefully, if you are one of the lucky admins and you live within 100 kilometres of Levin, we'd like you in the studio then via Skype, just because it means gives you a little bit of personal touch to it, and we get to meet you in person. So that's something we would like to look forward to. So from here at the 0800 Tardis team, we'd like to look forward to seeing you. We'll either see you in person, online, or on the show. Thank you. Good night.
Excuse me, what can you tell me about Nurofen Express?
It provides fast relief from those annoying headaches.
What do you know about Nurofen Express?
It works faster and lasts longer than standard paracetamol tablets. On headaches.
It targets pain fast!
So it's no wonder Nurofen is the nation's favourite branded painkiller.
Have you discovered Nurofen Express pain?
Yes, I've heard it starts getting to work in 10 minutes.
And it lasts up to 8 hours.
In store now, Nurofen Express period pain.